Hey, welcome back, everybody. Doofus Bob here. We're going to take all the laser turrets off, the laser cannons, the wampas. What else do we have? Oh, I'm going to take some pictures here. The barriers. Okay, well, here. Take a look at this picture here. Here's the barrier that these came with the Star Wars Legion, one of the bigger boxes. I just never used them for anything. So I thought they'd make good scatter terrain for trench warfare here. And then we've got the stuff that's sitting here by the entrance to Echo Base. And we've got the shield generator. And of course, the laser turrets and the laser cannons. And the wampas. So let's I'm gonna take all this off, all the greeblies, everything, take them outside, paint them, and then come back, and then I will show you how I'm going to paint one of the turrets, one of the laser cannons, and then we're going to just okay, so we went out and I spray painted everything black. Thinking that maybe I should have painted some of the stuff like a gray and a white too, but let's go with this for now. Go for this for now. I'm not going to paint all four. As you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of these. I'm just going to paint the one and show you how. Now this is I got off of Etsy, and as you can see, it's not really glued down, but what I decided not to do it because then I can, let me show you. I can set it like this or like that, or tilt it a little bit more up like this. So rather than glue it down and then, realize I didn't want to do it, I'm going to just leave it the way it is. Here's an image of this item off of the movie. You can see, obviously, it's not just black, right? It's actually like a grayish. It's got varieties of gray, and it's got looks like some gunmetal and some shiny bits here and there. Obviously, it's all metal, so I could have made my life easier and just painted this gray, but I want the black to stand out. So let's get started here. That image we got a variety of our grays here we can go with. We got a deep gray. There's a bit of a reflection off the light. Sorry about that. And then we've got uniform gray. Looking at the bottoms here, I kind of like this one. Let's see. The dark stone might come in handy. Obviously, we'll need some matte black. The gray castle, that's a little bit too gray. We might use that for highlights. So let's start with the uniform gray. Give it a good shake here. Now, the first part of this video where I was talking in front of the thing, that was actually a while ago. I know a lot of YouTubers don't talk about that. They kind of make it look like it's just they did it all the same day. Not being deceitful or anything. They just, I guess they don't talk about it. I don't mind talking about it. I actually went on vacation, and let's go in here. Yeah, so I went on vacation, grabbed my grandkids, and we went to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. We were walking along the main parkway, if you know what I'm talking about. There's a parkway down there. It's kind of a, I don't want to say a resort town, but they used to call them timeshare towns, which there are a lot of that there. But, I mean, you can go into the Smoky Mountains and do some stuff, trails and all that stuff. This time, though, we just wandered around and ate, It's kind of like, you go there, you stay in a hotel, and you pay money, and then you pay more money to, in shops, and you buy stuff and you eat, and it's expensive, and so it was fun. It was fun. Grandkids are getting older, so might as well have some fun, build some good memories. But I was doing that, and then came back to work, and everything got really busy at work. So I haven't had time to work on this at all. Okay. So this color kind of looks like what was on the movie. We probably could have gotten something a little bit more bluish in there. Maybe mix it up, but I'm just gonna try this. See how it works. Now for this cannon part here, let's clean our brush off. Let's go with this ash. All right, because I'm zoomed in here, I can zoom out and do it this way. But okay, for this part, let's go in here. So now this might look like what you would do if you had just spray painted it flat gray, right? The primer. And you can do that if you want to, if you don't want to go through all this. Remember, for these projects, the detail, like how much detail you put in there, it's up to you. Don't let anybody tell you what to do. Do what you want to do. Hell, you could make these all purple if you wanted to. Not sure why you would, but you can. Anyway, the point of that story earlier was that it's been I think by the time this gets uploaded, 3 to 4 weeks since I've uploaded a video. I've just been busy. And before that, there was a bit of a time frame because I was just thinking about how I wanted to do stuff. And I'll tell you something else. Remember I said when we were putting the conduits down, if you watched the previous video, all the power lines to support the turrets, right? Put that over here. Oh, blaster fell off. I used tubing for that. I was pretty happy with it, but I noticed that it wasn't very like it didn't sit where I wanted to. I had to use those cable clips. And I didn't like the way they looked. At first, I was like, yeah, okay, this looks good. I think I can go with this. But again, I looked at it, and I kept looking at it. And,
look at it! It's ugly, isn't it?
you know, this is my Star Wars man cave, so I'm sitting down here watching movies and stuff, and I keep looking over at it, and I decided, yep, guess I don't like that. So I'm going to have to do it differently. Looks pretty good. Remember, this is the Rebels. It doesn't have to be pristine and clean. If you want it to be, you can, but I'm gonna leave it a little bit dirty. And then on the back, I like this color. It was a great castle, wasn't it? Yeah. So if I had just sprayed this with the primer, we get an even coat, and then all the smudges and everything wouldn't be there. And that is kind of one of the reasons I didn't want to do that. Remember, this isn't fresh out of the factory here. They probably bought these from arms dealers in the galaxy, and well, it's probably not really clean. Hope you're having a good weekend. I had one of those weeks where all the we'll call them the higher paid people, they were in a different city at another site, and they were talking about the future and planning and cost and all this stuff, typical bureaucratic stuff for a company. Not something I ever wanted to get into. But because of that, there were no bosses around. Not that I didn't do anything. I just, it's quiet. It's very quiet when they're not around. People bothering me and shit. What's the status of this project? Go fuck yourself. That's the status. Of course, they don't have this channel. They can watch it if they want to. But what I say here, over there, is two different things. It's called freedom of speech. All right, now this back part. Oh, hopefully I wasn't out of camera there. You know what? I'm gonna turn it this way a little bit. So the camera is like on a little stand right in front of my face. And so I'm looking over here while doing this. So let's keep using this castle gray, a gray castle. I might switch to a different gray here. Like I said, I'm only gonna do one of these on camera. And then the rest we'll do later. In here, so you can see that now it is. Okay, see if I can. Yep, there we go. That's another thing, but I tell you what, I don't think my hands are as steady as they used to be. Again, I work as a chemist, so it's not a huge deal. But I also build things for chemistry, reactors and stuff like that, using stainless steel fittings and whatnot. So over the years, all the pipe turning and bending and fittings and all that stuff tends to wear on your hands. It's a little bit out of camera there, I think. Yeah, that's me cleaning the brush. And you can see a bit of a rough color to it. But that, again, that's what we want to go for. Then we're going to put some rustiness on there. Now for the barrel here, I always like to maybe go with a flat black. Where's the flat black? There's the, oh, it's over here. Let's go over this. Because it's got a little bit of darkness to it already, but we'll just go like this. And put just a little layer on there. Then we'll go over it with the gunmetal. Let me do something here. I put a little placeholder there to keep myself in camera. If I drop below this line here, then you won't see it. See? Stuff people don't tell you on some of the other YouTube channels, or any of them for that matter. But it's okay. If you ever think about doing a YouTube channel, do it. Go for it. Wish you all the best. Hopefully, hope you get more subscribers than I do. Speaking of that, we do have some new subscribers because this video is going to come out again, like I said, about 3 or 4 weeks after my last one. So we have some new subscribers. Welcome. Welcome. I'll put their names up on the screen. And unless they're anonymous, which that's fine. And got a little bit on there. A little bit of the solvent in here. Thin it out a little bit. Now, as you watch this series here that I'm doing, and you don't like the way I'm painting it, and you think, well, that looks kind of messy. There are better painters out there. The guy Zoroastro, that guy's amazing. His stuff looks absolutely beautiful. Now, some of the items I will paint, and I want them to look really nice. You know, like my snow troopers, I think I put a lot of effort into them. And those came out very nice. I'll go back to my gray here. Over this. Like, I don't mind some of the black coming over, but I also don't want it to look kind of unnatural, if you will. There we go. That's going on. And then maybe over here. This is the, which one is this? This is the 50. And then the other one I was using was the number 2 brush. Okay. All right. So you see we kind of have kind of a washout look there. It's kind of like the Darth Maul animated series. It's more of a watercolor washout, a lot of opaque. It looks dirty, and that's kind of what we want. That's what I want in this. Maybe that's not what you want in yours, but you're welcome to do yours the way you want. So now this barrel here, hold on, let me turn this way. So here it is right here, and we'll just kind of get that on there like that. Then we'll come over here and just kind of wipe it here and there. You use it to highlight. That brings out the nice, good color. Okay. That looks pretty good. Okay. Now let's move on to, do we want to put a little bit over here too? Let me see here. So we kind of get a little bit on there. Just kind of here and there. Just kind of give a little effect. Now there you go. Now let's look at our friend here. So all this back here can be the light gray, which I think was the castle gray, wasn't it? So let's get some of that out. And then we'll use the other gray, the darker gray, to highlight, which is kind of reverse, but it should work just fine. I'm gonna try to stay in camera here. That's my big problem when I'm doing these videos. Just double check to make sure I push the on button. I have done videos where I just talked and did something, and I didn't push the on button. That's called being a doofus. Hence the name of the channel. I had a friend of mine made a comment. He was like, "You should change the name of your channel." Oh, okay. To what? He's like, you know, like, what did he say? He's like, Master Builder of the Universe or something like that. I don't know, something ridiculous. I was like, what? This is for fun, man. I'm not trying to impress anybody here. He's sitting there giving me all this advice and shit. And then I was like, well, you make your own YouTube channel. And he was like, oh man, I don't have time for that. Yeah. He was sitting there watching TV all day. You know what? I'll be honest and say he doesn't watch my videos very often, but it's happened to come across one. I know the guy, but I don't know the guy, you know. I'm just going to give everything this color here. Again, we could have just gone outside and primer grade everything, but see this variation in color here. We wouldn't get that. Or not in the way that I wanted. And then here in a minute, I'm going to get the Wampa out. This video is going to have quite a few things done in it. Be a lot of editing. So if I'm talking less, I'm actually talking quite a bit. But if I'm talking less, it seems like it's because I cut it all out. Okay. What is this? I think we're going to keep going with this color. I like this color. Because now I got to remember all the colors I've used when I go paint the others. But again, it's the Rebels, right? So who knows where they got this stuff from. In Imperial, everything looks the same. You know what I mean? Okay. Let's get that off of there. So I'm going to let that dry for a second. In the meantime, let's break out some white. And for this, let's grab, where's the other one? Here it is. We're going to use the number 4 brush. I tell you what, I do not like my lighting today. I'm sitting in my man cave, but it's a bit dark in here today. Not sure why. Nothing's changed. Okay. So let's just go like this. So this bottom part here is where all the snow is, right? So we do have a little metal there. We'll go back over that. And the ridges you're seeing there being highlighted, that's from the resin process when they're making these. I'm just following the outline of that. See, it comes around there. You can see there's a little metal right here.
What the hell was that?
See, let me take a look closer here. Looks like snow has been pushed up in there too. Right there. Right there. Not there. Okay. Now this right here is where this connects like that. Yeah. I'm not going to glue that. I'm not going to glue that. We're going to leave that. Okay. Clean the brush off. Always clean your brushes. Don't know how many times I've forgotten to do it. Plenty of times. Okay, now I want to get in here. Gotta put more gray in here. Now this looks like it should be more gray. It's okay if it mixes with the white a little bit. That part's okay. That part, oh, here's a little bit. There we go. There's more. Might hear some noise in the background, like vibrating or whatever. It's not a vibrator. It's my kitchen sink upstairs. Got a problem with my lines. They're vibrating. All right, now let's put it together and just take a look at it. So we need to put some of this gray onto here, otherwise it looks too different, doesn't it? So let's do that. And that was the ash gray over here. Let's see. Yes. I'm going to use the number 2 brush here. Get a little bit of the ash gray. Get that over there. Maybe this part here. It looks like it might have dried out on me a little bit. There we go. Maybe some over here. Right there. good. And if you don't have steady hands and you have to go over stuff, that's okay. Don't beat yourself up over it. We all have something. Let's see. Go over here, go in there. I'm going to put a little bit over here too. Just have a little color variation. That was me hitting the camera. Okay. Then we'll go on the back. Please check out my ATST video that was done. That one came out very nice. I'm very happy with that one. Okay. You know what? Let's go into this right here. That looks like it would look good with it. As you can see, I'm handling this and some of the white is coming off. Probably should have waited a little bit, but again, it's going to give it that washout smudge look. And we're going to go over that again anyway. A little bit over here. Yeah, we like the way that looked. So that was the, let's see, we had Castle Gray, which was this one over here. And then I believe we had the Ash Gray. Oh, sorry, Uniform Gray, which was over here. So these two. And I think we used a little bit of Gray Castle as well on the other part. So at least I think that's right. Okay, so here we go. Looks pretty good. Now, while we're here and I've got the paint, where's my big brush? We're going to grab the number 4 and put another coat of white down here. Because it's gotten into the crevices now. Now, I could also make some plaster and put it on here. And I might do that. Let's see how it looks. Take it in steps, you know. Don't just run off and do a whole bunch of stuff and then you're like, oh, well, now I'm stuck with it. So I'm going to do this. And if I don't like how it looks, the snow effect on the bottom here, we will change it. Just like I'm going to show you how we're going to change the power conduits. I bought some wire. I believe I started talking about that earlier and then got distracted. Okay. So now, let's put that there. Let's put you in there. All right. Let's see if we can get a good look at this. Okay, there we go. So we're going to do that to all the others. All right, so let's paint one of the turrets. Look, here's an image from the movie. You can see it's mostly white. I'd take some coffee there. But we've got, obviously, the main cannon is like a blackish gray. Then the rest of it is dirty white. Got some yellow on there and some stuff. So let's get started with that. Now, we've already gotten our palette over here from the what was that thing called? The laser cannon? Because this is a turret. That's a cannon, I think. So from the cannon, we've got some we have some grays here. Now that's the uniform gray. I believe this was the ash gray. Yeah, I think that was the ash gray. Sorry. No. It was the castle gray, wasn't it? Yeah, yeah. Let's take a little bit of that. You can use any gray you want. It doesn't matter. It's up to you as to which one you want to use. But I have some left over in there, so I'm going to put this around here. And maybe down here. Let's see, let me get some more of that. So this is the Gray Castle. So in between this video and this section and the previous, I was kind of walking around and checking to see what's up. Why is it so dark in here? And I figure it is because I believe there's a low point in my lights down here. Meaning I think we're drawing too much power to the rest of the house. Now you're like, okay, is that possible? Oh yeah, trust me. I got a lot of crap running in this house. I'm not bragging. I have my projector down here that I watch movies on, and I've got big ass flat screens around the rest of the house. I love TV. I love watching every room. So it takes a lot of power. Boy, this castle gray is pretty nice. This is working out really nice. Okay, I'm gonna move my camera a little bit, turn it that way. It's easier for me to see if I go this way. This is the ins and outs of a YouTube channel, you know? Like, I never really thought I was gonna do one of these, but till people were like, yeah, document all the stuff you're making. And then just setting it up and all that stuff, and then you got camera angles and lighting, and boy, I tell you what, stuff I never really thought about. Big credit to some of those YouTube channels, you know. I was at a Comic Con, not the Comic Con, but a Comic Con, and I was talking to this guy. I mean, he has like 1.5 million subscribers, and I have what, 48 at the moment. But I tell you what, he just, I was like, how do you feel? I mean, was it worth it? And he let out this big breath of air. He was like, oh, it's so much work. And it's like, YouTube helps him do some stuff now because he's got so many, but not everything. He still has to do everything. He was like, I'm still out there editing videos half the time. So it's a lot of work, but I have to say I enjoy it. Okay, let's grab this color. Now this one was the uniform gray, and we're gonna put this over here. A little color variation there. Just a few points to kind of, stand out a little bit. If you like gaming, or you like to watch people play games, I should say, I have the Doofus Bob gaming channel. Right now, what are we doing right now? We're playing Skyrim Novice on there, and still playing Tales of the Shire. I was doing some Minecraft for a while, but I've kind of held off on that a little bit. Minecraft is one of those games where, like, I have to think about what I want to do, kind of like this channel here, and sometimes I'm not happy with the way it comes out. The whole square block thing kind of I don't know, like the visual perspective of it all messes with me a little bit. I was getting very nauseous playing that game. Okay, now I'm gonna grab some of this white and go over some parts here. Then we'll dirty it up with some other white. I think mummy robes, which is a color. There's actually a band called the Here Come the Mummies. You ever heard of them? Very popular on a radio station here. Oh, I missed that grate back there. I didn't see that. I see this over here, but I'm not going to go to it. Okay, the color variation there. That's kind of what I'm going for. Okay, and we'll do the same over here. We'll have some white, some very bright white, and then we're going to dirty it up. I've actually been looking forward to this one. When I first saw Empire Strikes Back, I love the laser turrets. Of course, growing up, we didn't have a lot of money, so the Hoth battle set that did come out, well, my parents couldn't afford it. Feel free to go in a variety of directions to see what kind of effects you can get. If you don't like it, you can paint over it. Now, nobody's going to see this under part, but I'm going to go ahead and go over it a little bit. And that texture you see, that's the resin casting result there. Again, this one was off of Etsy as well. See, I don't know if they want me, saying their store name or not. Some people are like, oh yeah, we don't mind, please do. Others are like, hey, don't do that. And it's like, okay, I haven't encountered much of that at all, but I was talking to, again, I was at a Comic-Con, I was talking to a guy, and he said, some guy off of Etsy that he bought some leather pauldrons for his cosplay. And he talked about it on his channel. Man, that guy got really upset. He threatened him with legal action. And I was like, okay, I saw the video. He only said good things about it. He totally recommended it to people. And then this guy was losing his mind. So gotta be careful with stuff like that. Uh-oh. Okay, let me show you what's going on here. Went to clean my brush and something got in there. I don't know what. Oh. I just painted over here and there was still a little bit of glue over there. Oh, I might have ruined this brush. Let's see, I don't think I have any. Need some acetone to dissolve the glue. So, let me do this on camera here. So I'm just kind of pulling the glue out of there. So what you're going to do if this happens to you, that glue is a chemical, it's an epoxy. So what we're going to do is go to the white here, saturate the brush a little bit. Okay. Get that paint in there. Then now that paint is mixing with the epoxy. Hopefully we can stop the reaction, slow it down to where it's going to bond with itself. So now we can go to the water and maybe get that out of there. And we are good. We are good. There's a little bit over here. You can see it right there. Okay. Okay, we saved our brush. Let's see. let's there was where is it? Back here. Let's get this one. Just put a little bit here. There we go. Clean that. Now let's get, so we've got a little bit of white up here. I'm gonna get this one. I love this color. I don't know who invented this. It's mummy robes. This is what I used on the snow troopers for the cloth part. There we go. This is an awesome color. It will. Let me see if I can grab this and not. There we go. All right. So for now, it's gonna give us kind of, let's mix that up a little bit. All right. Now let's just go over here. So what I'm doing is putting a little layer on there. It's kind of going over, not 100%, right? Because we want some of the white to stand out. There we go. Just a little bit there. Because this is a dirty rebel. Sorry, not as in they're the dirty ass rebels. I mean, it's the rebel item that's dirty. Okay. And we kind of trying to get the effect that we saw on the image earlier. And again, we don't want it everywhere. This one was a little bit. This one's a little bit less work because it's already white. Okay. This line right here. Okay. A little bit more on this door. Up here, but we'll leave this part the way it is. The way it is. That looks good. Okay. I'm actually quite happy with this right now. Now, put out a little bit of flat black here because that one dried up. And let's use the number 2 brush. Let's see. Kind of hard to grab it now. There we go. You see I'm kind of doing like a flick thing to here. Because it's been snowing, right? It's Hoth. Especially the end here. So what I do, I don't know if I ever mentioned this before, is so I do the one on camera to show you guys, right? And then the rest, I sit here and I will put on movies or catch up on my shows for the day, for the week. And I paint this while I'm watching TV. All right, so we got a little gunmetal here now. Same thing. If you don't like, you can go back over it with them. And then I'm going to put a little bit more of this, maybe over here. And I want to get some inside of here. Don't worry about how it looks, because I'll show you what we're going to do in a minute. A little bit there. But there. 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 Dirtying it up a little bit. Maybe around the hinges. There we go. There we go. Okay. Okay, now let's see. Do I have any spots? I got some spots open over here. Let's get the good stuff here. Let's see. We got light rust. And let's go with the light rust. This one. That's a joke. Okay. So we got a little light rust here. We're just going to put that there. Put that there. Look at that. Look at that. Doesn't that look cool? Just kind of, because I was going with the rebels. They have stuff. And it's just like dirty everywhere. Let's see. Let's put a little bit down here. Like that. And then maybe around the hatch here a little bit. So you get that in there. Probably got a little bit too much out here. This is pretty watery stuff. And then over here we did that, right? So let's go back over here. There we go. Maybe like that. Not too much, right? We don't need a lot. Nobody's gonna look underneath this. So let's see. But there. There. Put a little bit there. Okay. Now, love the rust. We need let's go with, you know, this is the strong tone. I'm gonna put that over here. So we got the rust on there, don't we? And before we go forward, I'm gonna do a little something here. I think I got a little bit too much of the rust over here. Just cover it up like that. See, this is what I'm talking about. If you don't like something, change it. Just change it. That actually makes it look a little bit better. Go back over this a little bit. Cover up that spot there. I think felt like I got a little bit too much there. Okay. Okay. Get that off. Okay, where was it? This one. So the wash is, you know, it's for like the greasy stuff, you know. And you can just kind of go over it like this, and it'll leave behind this residue of like dirtiness, you know, like grease or something. Really great for the exhaust grate here. This thing over here. Okay. Looks like this has been dripping. Maybe up here. There. Over here. Maybe like the door edges. A little bit. Well, this is the door, isn't it? Every time they step over here. There we go. Okay. put a little bit of dirt over here. Okay. So there we go. That's kind of the look I'm going for. Now on this bottom part here, let's put another dab. Wow, it's way too much. Wasting paint today, folks. Let's go ahead and kind of go over this to lighten it up, because this is where it's buried in the snow. And we could make some plaster wherever we're putting these. But again, you know, when I put these down onto the table, I move them around. I move them around all the time. I'm never 100% happy with where they are. Which is why doing the power conduits was kind of difficult, because I keep moving stuff around. So I'm going to make a decision, but I'm not going to make any plaster mounds for this. Okay. All right. Now, likewise, let's get our number 2 brush. Let's go back to a little bit of the rust and a little bit of. Okay, so where the snow, and dirty up the snow a little bit. And some of the white paint is mixing in there. That's okay. There. Looks like it's just dripping all over the place. Okay, let's turn this way. So there we go, folks. We did these two. This, again, dirty or as clean as you like it. I'm pretty happy with them. Doesn't mean I want to. This is my little. So pretty happy with it. All right. So these are, I believe they were some kind of sensors or something you put out, on your perimeter or whatever they were. I think it was just scatter terrain, but I'm going to use them as sensors. So a minute ago, you noticed they looked like this. They were all black. I went outside and gave them a quick spray paint with some white. And because I decided I didn't want to waste paint on that. And then what I'm going to do is just grab, let me turn the camera this way a little bit. We'll zoom in. Nope, we were zoomed in. Okay, good. Gonna grab some red. And let's see. I'm gonna put a little bit of red on top. Like that. Maybe a little bit more over here. Doesn't have to be red. Could be whatever you want it to be. I mean, ideally in a battle situation, you probably don't want something blinking red, do you? But from a tabletop terrain standpoint, can't just have everything be white and black, right? At least I don't want it to be. Ooh, I made a bit of a mess there. There we go. Okay. Now, got a little bit more in there. All right. And then we'll put a few more. I'm just trying to add a little bit of color that differentiates everything. Okay. little bit of blue there. And then what we're going to do is go back over here and put a little bit of blue. So I missed this red over here. Oops. Steady hand. There we go. Oh, here we go. Again, whatever color you want. I just want it to stand out a little bit on the tabletop terrain. Battle of Hoth, whatever you want to call it. I think for my next painting, I'm gonna get better lighting. Honestly, I've been looking for a new house. Don't like this house anymore. Wouldn't mind moving. Okay. Now, I would like to put some yellow. Notice I'm only putting out drops. Just drops of stuff. The Vallejo paints are awesome, but they are not cheap. So, I have been using them sparingly. I need to put my hand down here because this is, you can see my hand is shaking a little bit. Okay. And just taking a look here, you see we're getting the effect that we want. So now, I mean, if you're going to build a base on Hoth, and let's face it, scatter terrain, sensor suites, turrets, laser cannons, they're probably not going to come white. But I would guess that the rebels could find some white paint somewhere and paint everything, right? I mean, it's in your best interest to stay hidden. That's what they're doing, hiding from Vader. So I'm going to go out and say that that's what they did. So these sensors here were probably, oh, hey, those came out pretty good, actually. Were probably black like this or something. Now for this one, I'm just going to go around like this. Kind of like not a dry brush, but just wipe it on there a look. Okay. This one's a little bit different. Remember, it's okay if it doesn't look perfect because it's light. So it's going to reflect off of things. We're going to go for the overall effect. Again, that noise you hear is the kitchen sink upstairs. Talked to a plumber. He's like, oh, you just need to replace that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not sure that's the only problem. He's like, oh, no, it's probably something else too. So I was like, okay, how much is that going to be? He's like, well, we'll have to see. And I'm like, yeah, okay. What I'll probably do is when I go to sell the house, I'll have them come over, do everything in a bundle, and it'll be cheaper. Because this crew will be here anyway. Not that you care about any of this. I'm just talking. Let's go with the ash gray. I'm going to put this ash gray into this little puddle. Here, hold on. Into this little puddle of black, flat black solvent. And just kind of mix it up a little bit. Let's see what we get. Grab a little bit of that. Yeah, that looks good. Be surprised at how much stuff I actually delete. It's like, cause sometimes I'm like, what the hell was I talking about there? We'll go over this a little bit too, and then come back and go over it. Okay. Now that looks pretty messy, I know. But remember, this is sitting out on Hoth. There's snow, there's some bits of rock flying around and stuff. So it's like, okay, you know, it's not just gonna stay clean. I'm surprised. I mean, ideally it should be just covered in snow, but I would do a little bit of effect here. And now I'm gonna go back over it. So you see between the white and the black, it actually looks like the lights are on. It's just a little bit of layering. Okay. Just gonna go over it lightly. Now, in real military, would you have a bright light like this sitting out there in the middle? Probably not. So look at that. You see that? It looks like we actually have light on there. Just a bit of effect. This episode, we painted some greeblies. Actually we didn't paint the greeblies. They're black. We painted them flat black outside, and I brought them back in the house. What we did do is we painted our turrets 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 laser cannons. Those have been painted. We put our greeblies back down, and I still have to paint the wampas over here and the shield generator. So here's the turrets. You see they look pretty good. And coming up here, we've got our laser cannons. Trying to get a good view with the camera here. And we have these little boxes here. So we put those boxes in here. And let's see, there's another one. I think it's over there. And there's one over there by the gate. All in all, I think everything looks pretty good. But I'm not happy with this stuff here. Okay. It looks fine, but I don't like these things that are holding it down. So we're gonna change that. I said in the episode that I put these down that I may not like them. At the end of the episode, I kind of did, and now I've changed my mind. And let me show you what we're gonna do. So this tubing, it came out pretty good. It was okay, but it just doesn't look like it's sitting right. You know, some of it's traveling well, other parts of it aren't. So I went on Amazon and I bought some black metal wire. Okay. And I believe this is craft wire 10 gauge, which makes it 2.5 millimeters. And I also got some, I think it was 12 or 16 gauge, which is thinner. And you see, it's bendable, right? I can do all kinds of stuff with it. I can stick it in here. And I think what I'm going to do is take off, or I'm probably not going to take off the existing tubing. I'm going to change what's holding it down. And I'm not doing this episode because I haven't really figured out how I'm going to do that yet. I'm thinking U-nails, and I have some. So I may try those, but I'm not going to get into this episode. So if I were to snip this and lay it down and then I can shape it and all that, I think that might be the way we go. But that's next episode. Again, welcome to the new subscribers. And going to put up some pictures here in a minute, some close-up shots of all the stuff. The perimeter things came out really nice. The turrets came out good. The laser cannons came out good. I made them look pretty dirty and rough looking. Hey, like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. May the force be with you. See you later, everybody.